Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm in Clarksville, Tennessee, and I'm at Dunbar Cave State Park. That's the visitor center you see behind me there. We're going to go on a little hike up the trail, and I thought I'd take you with me. So let's get started. Here's a garden they have, and the visitor center, it's Sunday morning. Visitor center is open. There's not many people here. I kind of got the place to myself, but they said in the summertime it gets pretty busy. So we're just going to head up this trail here. There's a cave. I don't think it's a cave like Cave in Rock, Illinois, that kind of cave, sand cave that we've been to in the past. I think it's going to be more like you would go in with a headlamp and crawling, but I'm not sure. So we're going to hike up here and find out. Well, I can hear the geese, but I can't find them for you. But the trail's nice and wide right here. It's not paved, but it's very firm. It's like they used some blacktop that they've chewed up from a road and spread it out through here. It's cold. It's 24 degrees this morning. It was windy yesterday. But today's pretty nice for 24. Okay, starting to go uphill here, and it's more like a trail that I'm used to. It's not too far off the road, as you can see over there. So, I'm really intrigued by all the cedar trees on the ground. There's been a big loss of cedar trees right here, and I can see how a lot of them have blown over. But just all around me, there's cedars down. Some of them have been cut. They've been down for a while. It's just pretty interesting, something I'm not used to. Let's look out through there. Okay, I made the turn and I'm headed back to where I started. This is the recovery trail loop. It's only about 2 miles. I think that's gonna work out because 24 degrees is pretty cold. I'm picking them up and putting them down, trying to warm up. Keep my eyes out for any mushrooms or deer antlers. I did see some May apples, that's a good sign, but I just don't think there's gonna be any mushrooms in 24 degrees. It's just not warm enough yet. Okay, I want to show you this tree here. To me, it's not a tree. I got out the phone app and it's calling it a hedge maple. I call them a vine. And this is the biggest one I've ever seen. I don't know if I can compare it here. Show you my sticks. This is dude. And what it does, they grow up side of a tree. Like I can see that tree right there, how it's got the vine started up. Here's one here. The vine starts up the side. I'll find you a good one up the trail here, and we'll compare them. But that is crazy big. They go up and work their way around in the tree. It's just a vine of some sort. I'll show you one up here. Okay, so here's a good example of the vine. And what it does is it starts in the ground right here, comes out, grows around that tree, comes around, and then goes up, okay? Goes up and wraps around the tree like that. So here's another look at this, and the app calls this the same thing. It calls it I don't remember now, something maple. But they're kind of cool. I'm used to seeing them this size. This is a fairly big one. I've never seen anything like the one. You can kind of see it leaning over the trail down there, just above my stick right there. That is enormous. So that's pretty cool. Something I don't see in Illinois. Something I've seen in Tennessee. Okay, I come to a crossroads right here. I think that way is going to shortcut me to where we were at. That way's longer. I think I want to go this way. I can see water down there, and I want to get you to the cave. We're going to try this way, even though it's not very well used. I think it's going to take us where I want to go. Okay, I'm back down to the water now. I'm going to come to a T. Left would take me across back to the visitor center where I started. right's going to take us to the cave. I'm glad y'all have stayed tuned to get to this point. What I've learned along the way is the cave is kind of both of what I was thinking. See, we'll come back and we'll go across back to the visitor center, but right now we're heading up here to the cave. And originally I was thinking it would be like Cave in Rock, Illinois. Then when I got here, I seen a gate that had been here, and it got me thinking that and they talked about taking tours way up in the cave, and they had headlamps, and they had seen Native American writing on the walls. So I thought, well, it's a really small cave. Well, it's kind of both. Back in the, I think it said the 50s, 1950s, 30s, 1930s, I think, there was a resort here. And the cave temperature was a constant 56 degrees, and people would come here in the summertime because there was no air conditioning back then. They would hang out here, they would have singing and dancing and things, entertainment. Then it closed in 1971. That's an easy date for me to remember. And then at some point, the owners of the ground handed it over to the state, and now it's a state park. So we're coming up here to the cave, and I'll give you a better view once we get up here. Okay, it appears that water comes out of the cave, flows down the creek, and then fills the lake. So it's pretty cool. We're going to start by being down here on the bottom level, and then we'll go up on the top. I can tell from the pictures that the top is where the singing and dancing was held. You got a lot of natural and man-made structure here. This is all natural. Up top, man-made. Then you got a mixture of both. You've got the natural rocks blended with the concrete. It doesn't look like the best structure. I see some flaws in it. I think it's going to stand here for a good while. I'm guessing this is water. But I can't see. Maybe that's okay. I can see. Yeah, there's water there. Pretty interesting. Okay, now we'll work our way up to the top. Okay, so this is super cool. What this, I believe, would have been like concessions. I looked inside there. There was some old power wires that have been cut off. And I think this would have been a balcony where people could have got up and washed. And then over here, there's a stage. It's different levels, and I think there would be like some singing. See, this whole thing is kind of like a big amphitheater. So I think you'd had like singers up there, and then all this big area right here would have been for the dancing and socializing, things like that. Just super cool. And then up in here, I'll take you up in there. Okay, so I was looking right here, and this was a concession stand. You see it, that wall right there. But then over here it tells you that they added this upper roof on later. Dancing was popular at the cave entrance. Notice the new flat concession stand roof. And then I don't know, I mean, that's a lot of people, but look here how busy it was. Carried their drums, looks like a guitar. Tons and tons of people. Just looks like a really, I can just kind of picture it here. That'd be super cool. Okay, so up in here is where the tours will take you. It's closed, I assume it's closed. I'm not going in there either way. But that's where the cold air would come out of. It stays a constant 56 degrees coming out of there. So that would be pretty neat. And then the sign did say that this was used by Native Americans. I'm sure they thought this was a paradise. And then here's the stage I was telling you about. And the drummer up here on top, and then, yeah. Just overall, really cool, really, really cool. Okay. Okay, I want to show you something. I'm up here on top of the balcony to get you a look, but first I want to show you real quick. These are insulators up there, and what they did was they screwed them to a cedar tree, which it's makes perfect sense, you know, because back then this cedar tree would have lasted hundreds of years. They just don't rot, but they just screwed them straight to the cedar tree, and then they would have taken their copper cable, wrapped it around there, and then come down somewhere through this ground, and that's where the power got into the concession stand. But here's a look for you from the top of the balcony. This is a good view. This would have been a really cool place to be right here, watching everybody socializing. Yeah, this is cool. Cool. This is so cool. Wave. Okay guys, that's it from Dunbar State Park in Clarksville, Tennessee. If you haven't subscribed to our channel already, please do. We'd love to have you back for all of our adventures. We thank you all for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.